Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I was miles out again this week. Look how far out I am. Zone 3 though, fair play. I always thought I was going to be too high, right? I thought, as I done it, I thought, nah, that's too high, that's too high. And I left it for a couple of days. I thought, I'll go back to it. Nah, that's too high. But I couldn't make it work any lower. Every time I looked at where this guy was looking and where this guy was looking, it always took me back to the eye line crossing over up here somewhere. And I thought, no, I should go lower. The judges are going to go lower than that. But I just couldn't bring myself to do it because I thought, if I do put it lower and it turns out I was right in the first place, I'd never forgive myself. So, yeah, it wasn't as easy as I originally thought last week because the cross is so far away from both of the players that the eye angle just gets wider and wider as you go away from them. If it was a lot closer, you'd have a better chance, but it's so far away from both of them. So I only done 2 crosses this week. I wasn't very confident with this at all. I wasn't expecting Christian today. Turns out he was in Cardiff about 20 miles away from me. But bit of a shambles this week for me. Let's have a look at the judges though. See, I don't think the judging's that bad because they're all roughly in the same area. None of them have gone as high as I've gone. And I say this most weeks, that normally none of the judges are anywhere near the winning cross. However, there's a couple of them are quite close, and there's one there, it's very close. Would I take any away? I think you'd be pushed there to think of any to take away, because there's that one out there to the left, and there's this one down here at the bottom. If you took those 2 away, look how close, and redrew the lines, look how close the bandwidth would be for the eye line for both players. It would be really, really narrow. However, I don't think you can justify taking the 2 away. They're not far enough out from the group. It's quite a close clustered group. So I've already had a look, and that is the latest decision. They haven't taken any crosses out. I don't think that's bad. They're scattered about all over the place, but I think the winning cross is probably in the right area. Actually, I would have thought it would be, to me, it should be a bit further to the left because of where the guy in blue is looking. So maybe a little bit more to the left. But then if you'd taken that one on the left out, like I said, because it was further out, that would have been even more to the right. But yeah, I don't think you can knock it too much because none of them are that far away from each other. So there's not a lot I can say this week, to be honest. Judging wasn't too bad, and they left all the crosses in. I've come up with a new plan too. This is what I want to do for the judges. Now, just to get them to put more effort into studying this before they put their cross in, I think the judges should have a bonus of £100 for whoever is the nearest to the winning cross, nearest one to the average. And I think the one that's furthest away from the winning cross should be banned for a week. Let them sit out for a week and not get paid. Probably ridiculous, but that's what I could come up with as a short notice. Right, what have I done for this week then? Well, I've already done my crosses for this week. I've done them today because I was going to wait until later in the week to give me a chance to come back and forth and look at it a few times, and because I've already moved this about a dozen times in 2 days. But then, of course, I picked 2 cars I was going to play for, the free win, and I think I went for the Audi RS6, did I? I can't remember now. And I thought, yeah, I'll just do the 2 crosses because I'm not too sure, but I'll leave it a couple of days. Perhaps I'll do this on Friday. But then today they've done this one-off, didn't they? Where it's the Audi S3 and £100,000 in a boot this week, and I thought, not the RS3, no, it's the S3. And I thought, of all the sporty Audis, it's the S3. It's probably the one I would have because it's not as crazy as the RS3, but it's still got the 4-wheel drive, 300 brake horsepower, 0 to 60 in, I think it's 4.8. It's still a cracking car and 100 grand. So I would probably take that car plus the 100,000 plus the 50,000 for the extra slider. So I thought, yeah, if anything, that's what I'd go for. So I've done it. I've committed. I've done my free cross and I've done one other cross because that's all I'm committing to this week. But I've been trying to look at this in 3D and drawn a line from his noggin up there, straight up there. And picture he's facing sort of slightly towards me, so I've tried to get the right angle there. And the guy at the back isn't looking very high at all. He's only just looking sort of past his head. So I don't know. I think I might have even gone a little bit too high there. It's difficult to say because the judges usually do go too high, so I've had to allow for that as well. Anyway, talking shit now. So that's this next week done, out of the way. Now, you might remember me saying last week that I wanted to buy one of those race vans from Welsh Coast Campers when I win. But I thought there may be an issue with the motorbike that I want to put in the back of it. Because if you look at the size of the garage in the back of the race van, it's only just about, with the bed folded down, because the bed is above it, it's only just clearing the handlebars. Now, this Piaggio MP3 I want has got a front screen on it, and I'm not sure. I think the scrambler bike we just saw in the other picture is a lot higher than this. So I think the screen might come up to about the same size as the handlebars on the scrambler bikes that's in the back of the race van. So why do I want one of these MP3s? Well, because they are three-wheelers. You can drive them on a car licence, mainly because the front wheels are far enough apart that they'd be classed as a trike. And don't know if you can just see that little bit there. That's a foot pedal. So they've got, because they've got a foot brake, and the front wheels are, I think it's 44 centimetres apart, they're classed as a trike, and you can drive them on a, you can Google this, you can drive them on a car licence. So I'm hoping that one of them would fit in the back of the race van. Perfect. I can turn up somewhere, park this up on a campsite, have a bit of grub, get the bike out the back, and go exploring the countryside. Anyway, I think that's all I've got to say this week. Judging was okay. I've already done my crosses for next week, and that was the motorbike I want. I'll leave you to it. Good luck for next week, guys. All the best.